Hope you guys having a great night. We're here live. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. So let's see. So we're trying to get the stream connected, but we have a lot we're going to talk about tonight. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about. XRP. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Sorry, I'm late, but sometimes I'm late. So I am. We do have a lot we're going to talk about. This is a very important strategy Sunday. Like I said, we're going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk about AI. A lot of people are saying it is that it could be possibly in a bubble. I don't agree with that, and we're going to explain why. And we're going to also talk about BigBear.AI and also some other things that are happening right now. Let me see something. I gotta charge this. Give me a second. There we go. So, give me 1 second to get things going here. All right. So we got that going. So let me get. So we got that. And we got this. All right, yeah, so we got a lot we're going to talk about today. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you drop a comment that tells the algorithm that you are interested in this type of things. Remember, the algorithm is changing. You have to do things like that if you want to continue to see the content that we put out. So we have a lot of things we're going to talk about tonight. Welcome to Strategy Sunday, where every week you get ready for what's coming for the next 7 days. We don't want you reacting. We want you positioning yourself. I'm your host, Armando Pantoja. Today's episode is filled with moves and that could define your week, your quarter, maybe even your entire life. This week's lineup is packed. XRP exploded 400% this year. This kind of move turns believers into prophets, but there could be some cracks under the surface. Ripple's also turned into a bank. Some people are cheering. Some people are saying it's going to bust. We're going to talk about that. So meanwhile, a government shutdown is freezing Washington, but Wall Street is still doing extraordinarily well under the circumstances. We have a war in Venezuela that could be starting to happen. Then there's AI, the new gold rush. Trillions are still flooding into data chips and dreams. Nvidia, Palantir, now they're names that are spoken like gospel, but the prophets can't keep pace with belief. Could we be in an AI bubble? We're going to talk about that. Somewhere in that noise, BigBear.AI is still quietly winning government deals, building tech that nobody's watching. It's proof that AI will go on even if there is a bubble. We will continue to go forward, even if the market screams about bubble. Now, the thing here is hype normally moves faster than truth. The whole world is an illusion. By the time the masses figure it out, the game's already over. But not you. You'll understand because you watch Strategy Sunday, and this is where the biggest winners of 2025 will be made every night. And now it's 10, but it's 9 o'clock normally, but I was a little late. I apologize. So we have a lot of things we're going to talk about tonight. Like I said, I'm sorry about being late, but sometimes life does call. So we got about 700 people here on Instagram. Wall Street hot while the government freezes. Yeah, so I want to talk about something real fast. I guess I'm getting close to 1 million followers on Instagram, hundreds of thousands everywhere else. I think I guess people are starting to copy me now. I mean, I guess they see some type of path to doing, so I don't know, man. But I don't really, I copy other people too. But I see something, I would say copy, but I would say I'm inspired by others. But the problem, and I put up a post, but the problem with copying is that I give people credit. If I see something you're doing, I say, man, I like that idea that you did. I'm going to use it in my next event. Salute to you. That's what I say. Or I say the problem with these people, and you guys probably know this in your regular life, in your life. They sit on the sidelines watching you, just watching everything you do like a coward, and then copying you from the distance. Now that's I don't agree with that. Now, ideas are in the air. They're everywhere. And if you could take somebody's idea, there's no copyrights, patents on that. What happened here? Let me see something. Let me see something. I think I got my video stopped. Give me a second. What the heck? Oh, man. Yeah, it should be okay now. Give me a second. So discard. Give me a second. No. So give me a second. I think the video went out. There we go. It should be okay now. Gotta make it a little bit smaller. There we go. So sorry about that. But back to what I was saying. I'm sorry. Is that I don't mind if people copy you a little bit. But what gets me mad is that when they don't say it, all you gotta do is say, "Hey man, I got your idea. Oh man, this dude's cool, man." They don't even follow you. They don't follow you. They're looking at. Come on, I'm sorry, it's some coward stuff, and I'm just gonna say it. And there's not one person I'm talking about. There's several people out there. Like it's people like Master Investor. I like him. He's a great person. He's a great investor. And if I see something I like, I say, man, I'm gonna use that in my next event. If I see Robert Krook's a good friend of mine. Hey man, I like what you're doing. I'm gonna use that. He says the same, hey man, he calls me up sometimes, say, man, what'd you do there? Oh, I did this. Okay, well, I'm gonna copy it. All right, that's cool, but that's because you're giving credit. The weird thing is you in the shadows looking around. I mean, come on, man, come on. That's sad. And it's not just one person, there's several people that do that. You know what I'm talking about. So back to what I was talking about. Hopefully the audio and video is good. So hopefully we got it back on track. It's a little bit grainy, but I mean, that's the best I could do now. So the backup camera. I'm not going to tell you what I'm talking about. I don't start drama online. But I'm just saying it. But the second thing I want to talk about before we get into this is the virtual signaling. Now, I put up a post, and I do this every year or so. I'll talk about how I believe that an investor, a smart investor, when you think about all the possibilities in your life, now you want to make as much money as possible on the upside, but as a smart investor, you have to think about the downside on individual investments and also in your whole portfolio, but you also have to say, what's the worst case scenario that could happen in my life? Well, I mean, government could fall or anything. So that's why I always talk about precious metals, at least 3, 4, 5 months worth of food in your house. So I always tell people, I always say the same thing at Costco, Sam's Club, and also at Walmart. If you go to the bulk food section, they have these buckets of food that are like, that you pay like $30, $40 for, and they last 25 years. Now, if the food's in a bucket, it's going to last 25 years. Now, it's not going to be organic, heirloom mushrooms. It's not going to be that. I mean, and people, this is what I want to talk about too. People are right now so disconnected from reality that people actually was saying in the comments that There's no organic food on here. Wow, there's a lot of carbohydrates in this. Did you see how much salt was on the package? I'm going to say the word. I said I wasn't going to say it this year. I said it like 6 times. You idiot. Don't you realize that by the time you open it, the best case scenario for having food for chaos is that you never have to open it. That after 25 years, you say, wow, I guess it expired. Let's throw it away. That's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that you throw it away and it's expired. That's the best thing that could happen. Worst case scenario is that you're popping that top open. And if you're popping that top open, then all the food around you is gone. Because you don't go down, you get all the food you can, you hunt and do whatever you can. Once all that is gone, then you open those buckets. So at that point, that's what I'm saying. It's very difficult for the average person to project into the future or imagine something different than what's happening right now. In that scenario, you will not care about carbohydrates. You won't care about saturated fats. You will not care about preservatives at all. Now, it's funny how people can't understand that. Every time it's all these people that talking like that. Every single time. I don't get it. Like, you can't project yourself into a world that's different. That's why some people will never be good investors. Because an investor, a good investor, has to be able to project himself and the world in general into a future that may not exist right now. And then a good investor will have to see what types of companies will do well in that environment of the future and then invest in those companies ahead of time, before the masses. Now, if you can't do that, if you can't project yourself to the future where you're eating those, then you can't do it. You got to figure out some way. You have to change your mindset, right? You have to tell the best case scenario is that, and another thing people do, and it gets me mad, is that with the investments, I don't invest in things that hurt. I don't invest in this. Now, and Palantir kills babies. Palantir don't kill babies. Most of their money comes from AIP, which is their platform. People just, the media told you that. The media told you Walmart was dirty in the early 2000s until they bought up all of Walmart stock and the rich got extraordinarily rich off of it. They kept you away from it. This has happened since the beginning of the stock market. Now, what's funny is that the same person, now, a person, you got to remember, the rich, there's some dirt. They don't care about all this. They use that virtue stuff on you. Now, it's a person that has true virtues and is willing to fight to change the world. I will take my hat off to you and I will donate to your cause. Now, a person is willing to give their life up, turn down a 6-figure job and go out and fight to make a difference, either in civil rights, either in environmental rights, either I don't care what it is. If a person has got that much passion and they're willing to give everything up to go fight for what they think is right, I will take my hat off to that person. But what I don't like is virtue signaling. I wouldn't invest in that company because of this. I wouldn't invest in that company because of that. But you sitting at home watching Netflix all day. Now, you got 2 choices in life. You can go out there and fight with the people, the freedom fighters and all these other things that I take my hat off to, or you can profit off of the changes in the world. That's all. That's the 2. You can't be in the middle. Well, I'm not gonna buy that stock, but I'm not gonna do anything either. No, you one or the other. You can't be in the middle, right? So that doesn't even make sense. So what I'm saying here is that the rich don't think like that. That's why they're rich. There's a video out, and I think it was I'm not going to say either way, but I'm going to say the video. I'm not taking a political stance, but it was a video out there. You can look it up. A man is sitting there. He's recording for some kind of political thing, right? The woman sits down. She says, okay, she at a fancy restaurant. She says, okay, I want to order a wine, a spritzer, whatever it is, and a steak. I don't know what she ordered. And she sat down with the dude, opened her book up and says, yeah, we got about, so what you looking for? And the dude says, well, I'm looking for some new product. He said, well, we got about 82 baby legs, about 78 baby heads. We got some new legs. We got some arms in too yesterday. She's a baby broker, babies that die and pass away before birth or whatever. She takes those parts and she sells them to science and medical companies. And this is the woman's job. That's evil. Now, but you think that they care? Now, look, that's horribly evil. Horribly. The rich are doing stuff that you wouldn't even think of. Just horrible, disconnected stuff. And then they tell you don't invest in Palantir because they may be doing something. They're connected loosely to do. That's what I'm telling you. That's what they do horrible stuff. Horrible things. And then they tell you on something small, oh, don't invest in Walmart. They didn't pay their employees $8 overtime last year. You see what I'm saying? But they do way horrible stuff. And then they keep you away from the money by making you believe that you're good because you did not invest in the companies that all those rich people are investing in anyway, because they're doing worse stuff. That's nothing to them. Now, why do you think the rich are so morally confronted whenever a camera is on them? That's exactly why. They do horrible stuff, and they use the media and stuff. They don't care about the morality. They don't care about the rightness. They're trying to keep you away from the hottest investments. Now, move on. I just wanted to touch on that. So XRP, a lot of people ask me about XRP. XRP exploded more than 400% this year. Now Ripple is chasing a national bank charter that can make it look unstoppable. Now, but behind the headlines, there's some cracks. Ripple has a stable coin that's doing good, but we're at 250 right now. And if something doesn't happen this month, honestly, we're not going to reach that $8 to $12 projection I had. And like I said, I posted something yesterday and some dude, it was a corporate, you know how they are. No, I don't see, you said that XRP was going to $8 this year. Oh, yeah, buddy, you missed that one. I was like, okay, yeah, I missed it. I'll say I missed, that's a hell of a miss. XRP is at 35 cents. I say it's going to 10 against the $3, almost $4 before it comes down to where it's at now. Now, we got 50% there. I think that's a hell of a miss. But I'll take the loss. I'll take the loss on that. I'll take the loss on Bitcoin. I'll take it on Ethereum this year. Drop my percentage from 93 down to 88. Okay, I'll take that. But every other stock that we called out this year almost hit, almost all of them. And not a lot, about 300% each. So, I'll take that. I'll take that, right? I'll take it. He said with the vest and the loafers. Yeah, he has he's got his cargo shorts on the weekends, But let's move on. It may miss it. I'll take that. I got the roughly 4. I said 8 to 12. I will say I missed that. It's probably not going to get that. I'll tell you that right now. It's more than likely not going to hit 8. Even if we don't have a run up here in the next 2 weeks, there's just not enough time. But I still think long term, I think that's still short-term upside, but I think that over time, we're still going to have an $8 to $12 XRP. It just takes time sometimes, And one thing you couldn't predict is the instability after Trump took office. This is what I don't understand. He's constantly doing things. Like, he's not like, we have battleships. Think about how it's almost like he's doing it on purpose. Now, I'll say it, and you can leave me if you want to. I voted for Trump because I thought he was better for the economy. I voted for Trump. I'll say it. Now, I don't look at all that other stuff. Like, y'all are in the world and this, and he said that. I don't look at the world like that. That's not my job. I come on here. I come to the events. I'm a leader in finance. Just like they said, LeBron shut up and dribble, where Armando shuts up and watches the charts and watches the finance. I don't do anything else. That's my job. Now, if you tell me something, I don't know what happened. What do you do for fun? I do this. What do you do if I do this? This is my life. So I did vote for Trump because I thought he was better for this. And now anything else, I don't know. But now what's weird is that he's putting too many balls in the air. Like you're juggling. He just he's barely keeping the balls up, and he puts another ball and just does. One day they're going to drop. We got a government shutdown. He's going head to head with China on the tariffs. He's doing all these other stuff. He's got battleships outside of Venezuela. It's too many things. One day the other shoe is going to fall. If he keeps on, and remember, underlining all of that is an economy that's been in a 3-year upcycle that probably is due for a crash or a correction or a recession. Now, that's like a dude on top of an elephant. The elephant's dancing bachata, and he's on the elephant. He's doing bachata, and he's also juggling balls. I mean, so all it takes is for the elephant just to trip a little bit, and the whole thing falls down. That's what I'm saying is that it's too much going on. And he needs to pull back. I mean, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's doing it for a reason. I don't know all the reasons, but it seems very, very, dangerous that he's doing all this at once. This is my opinion. I don't know what the pause is for. What did I say? I don't know what I said. I know pause means something gay, but I didn't say nothing gay. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. So maybe he's doing it on purpose. I don't know. So talk about a couple more things. Yeah, like I'm going to tell you, the CNC is open. The game is about to change, though. Inside the Chestnut Checkers Group and Academy, over 2,000 members are already winning. We got 2,500 members now, right under 2,500. We've over doubled in size this year. Just getting real stock and crypto plays, direct access to me and my team, strategies that cut through all the noise. But here's the deal. We're shutting down new memberships after Thanksgiving. There will be nobody allowed in the CNC in December while we retool and figure out, some things in there. So, and then when we open back up in January, the price will be more than it is now. So anybody that joins now will be locked in at the current rates for life. No future price hikes ever. But after January, you're going to accept the new price if you want to jump in. It's not just a chat room, not another Discord room. This is where future millionaires are being built in real time. Learning how to move before the crowd, read capital flows, position for what's next. If you're serious about mastering the next era of money, if you're serious about 2026, DM me the word CNC. Go to jointhecnc.com or hit the link in my bio before enrollment closes. Once we shut it down, it's not going to open back up to next year, and the price will never be this low again. Now, another question I want to ask, are we in an AI bubble? Where do we have this chat at? There we go. I was talking about, balls, that's it. Yeah, elevate. I mean, you got too much going on, man. Like, that's the thing about it. I'm kind of scared. So how many billionaires have you made? I don't know, none, man. Like, I've made no billionaires, not that I know of. I mean, somebody in YouTube said, how many billionaires have you made? None. I mean, I'm gonna lie. No, I haven't made a billionaire. I made the dude I know that made the most is like 25 million. I mean, just from beginning to end. He started with like a couple of 100,000. So that's the guy I know. And you guys know him. He's, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to pull him into it, but he's actually a pretty big person. He's moving up himself. He learned a lot. He's moving up himself on Instagram. So he's actually a young dude. He's doing very well. So that's the most I made. I mean, that's not even close to $1 billion. That's like 2% of $1 billion. So I think I'm a long way from that. So let's move on. Are we in an AI bubble? That's the question a lot of people are saying. Experts can't agree, but AI money is still flooding in. We got record valuations. We got trillion-dollar companies. We got Nvidia marching to 10 trillion now. Some people are calling it the next industrial revolution. Other people are saying we're in a dot-com bubble again. Now, the truth is somewhere in between. I think the innovation is real, but there's also risk of too much money chasing too few real profits. Now, if you read the Strategic Millionaire or the Future book, I guess you can't read the Future book, but I think I saw some lives, I saw some charts. A bubble will always happen when a new innovation comes out. Now, the size of the bubble and how much it retracts is different. And I think we will build into a bubble. Now, are we in one now? Are we going to be in one 5 years? It's hard to tell when the bubble would burst. But eventually, that's why I tell people that at this point forward, you have to practice risk management because you got to remember when the dot-com bubble happened, stocks like Amazon and Microsoft took 10, 15 years to recover to their peak bubble values. So some of the stuff, let's say something like Amazon, like Nvidia could retract. Where is it at right now? Nvidia's at 202. It could retract all the way down to like 60. And it could stay there for 5 years. Even though if you got in very early, you're still way up. But to people who got in late, they'll be underwater for a while. So you have to still you have to think like that. Whereas the risk is getting higher every day that we're building into a bubble. Now a bubble's not bad. Now we do have 1,300 AI startups valued over 100 million, 500 unicorns. That looks a lot like the .com bubble era. But the thing about it is that BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says he doesn't think it's a bubble. It's just a massive infrastructure build out. That could be true too. And I think that I don't think a bubble is going to burst anytime soon. But I do believe that as we go forward time, there will eventually be one. And remember, we have these circular deals going on where one company pays one, and the company takes the money and pays it back to the other one. That's very, very dangerous of a bubble. What we see with Nvidia, AMD. I put up a post talking about how the money is just moving around between 7 companies. That's also a sign of a bubble. So, but the problem is that nobody can pinpoint exactly when it's going to happen. The good thing about AI is that there has been revenue, a lot of revenue from AI. When the .com bubble burst, there was almost no revenue. That was all hype. AI actually has returned some of the profits. So because of that, I don't think it'll be as dramatic as the .com bubble burst. So we do have Nvidia and Palantir both still doing extraordinarily well. Hottest names in the market, both exploding as investors continue to chase this AI story. Nvidia is worth $5 trillion, just past $5 trillion. I think last week they report their earnings on the 19th. Palantir is up by more than 330% this year and could announce a stock split soon, which would be massive. But smart money's starting to ask, are they too in a bubble as well? Now, with Palantir, the reason why we made so much on Nvidia and Palantir, that's why you have to buy the book, Strategic Millionaire. This is the old one. The new one, don't buy this one. I'm just giving it to you for a visual cue. It's a new one out there. It's the Strategic Millionaire expanded version that is gold. It's gold now. Gold and black. Black and gold, really. So get that book. That book explains, that's how we made so much money on it. And it happens every time there's an innovation. Is that we understood, now remember, you got to remember, I want to know how many people remember this. So I want you to say it in the comments if you remember. When AI first burst on the scene, I said, this is the shock. And I said, what's going to happen next is that they have to build out hardware, so you got to buy Nvidia and AMD. That's what I said. AMD didn't do as well, but AMD did extraordinarily well, so it canceled out any of. AMD actually did okay, really. So we made a lot of money with that. And everybody said, what's next? I said, well, what's next is we're in phase 2 of a build out called the software phase. So now companies will come up that will create software. Palantir, SoundHound, all these companies came up. We made money on the second phase. Then they say, what's the third phase? Well, the third phase is going to be data centers and build out, which we're kind of going into that now into the next year. That's where all the money's going to be made. And every phase, the first, second, third, the returns are less and less and less to finally, somewhere around the third phase, the bubble burst. And then you got maturity. And that's a long phase that could take many, many years. But that's when most of the money is made, like with with Amazon. After the .com bubble burst in 2000, Amazon, if you would have bought it then, you would have made tens of thousands of times your money. Because most of the money came after it. It was just over a longer time period. The book is called The Strategic Millionaire by Armando Pantoja. It's on Amazon. Make sure you buy it tonight. So Nvidia does build the hardware for AI, and Palantir sells the software that runs on it. Both are great businesses, but prices are already reflecting a little bit of overvaluation. And now, if the earnings, all it takes is an earnings disappointment by one of these companies, and the stocks tumble fast. So just make sure you're prepared for that. And prepare for any cracks that happen in the story, and it also could be a buying opportunity. Excuse me. Now, we're about to close the doors. For the past year, Chestnut Checkers Group and Academy has got up to 2,500, almost 2,500 members. They all learn how money moves before it hits the headlines. Now it's time for you to level up. CNC is going to go dark for a month. In just a few weeks, we're shutting it down to new enrollments for 2025 as we rebuild and raise prices. Once that happens, Only existing members will stay locked in at today's rate. So when the doors close, they close. It's not gonna be messaging me saying, "Can I get last year's price?" No, it's over. Next time you see it, it'll be bigger, more exclusive, and it'll also be more. It'll cost more money. Now, if you watch from the sidelines, this is your last chance to get in before the relaunch. DM me the word CNC, hit the link in the bio, or go to jointhecnc.com. Appreciate you, Stacy. Thank you so much. So let's move on. All right, give me 1 second here. That's weird. Where's that's some weird stuff. I can't find it. Maybe it's on the thing. Okay. Well, let's move on. So it says, let's look at some questions here. Is there a yearly membership? Yeah, there is a yearly membership. If you DM me the word CNC, I will send you the link for the yearly. It's $9.97 for the year. Now, if you're in the CNC and you've made money, drop money bags. And some people want to see how much money you've made. Let's say, how much money have you made in the CNC? I just want to see it. It does help me, understand the impact that we have. So if you guys would you please drop the amount of money that you're up so far? I appreciate you, Nooch Bands. Let's move on. Last thing we want to talk about here is BigBear.AI. We're getting a lot of questions about that, but it's moved up a lot. Like the thing about it is people always come to me and they say, "Oh, well, we can in the CNC. We have a page that all CNC members can go to, and they can see every single call out I've ever done, how far we are along in that call out, what's the targets, because I don't tell the targets in here, what the price targets are, and how much time you got to get in. So with BB.AI, we're up 132% since we called it out early at the beginning of this year. That's a lot. That's pretty good. Since I called out, the first time I ever called out BB.AI was 1/12/2025. 132% we're up since then. We're at 691 now. It's a little bit of a retraction, but we're up a lot in the CNC. But it's not up, my target on that is still $12. We didn't hit that $12 mark yet. It wasn't sustained, at least. So people ask me a lot, so what's going to happen with BB.AI? Well, they just rolled out a biometric platform at Chicago O'Hare's airport. Now, if this works, it could slash passenger screening times from a minute to just 10 seconds, a big win for BB.AI's visibility. And it's also proof that the company's tech is working in the real world, which is something that a lot of people want to see in these AI companies. And they also have a growing government footprint. They're also getting a lot of small contracts with the government. Hopefully they'll get a big one. Big Bear still struggles with revenue swings and funding delays. That's a big problem. Upcoming Q3 earnings is going to show what's going to happen going forward with BigBear.AI. I still think it's a great one. I still think it's a classic early stage government tech. I think it's like Palantir, but smaller. But it's not going to grow as much as Palantir, but it will grow, I think, a couple of 100%. Has huge potential, but the execution is uneven. But the company can continue to build, if they can continue to build our predictable income, reduce the volatility in those swings in revenue, up until then, it remains a speculative bet. So a lot of people are going to look at that and say, they're afraid of investing in something that swings that much. So you got to remember is that contracts make headlines, but earnings are what really drives the stock price, especially in this situation. Now, what they've done with O'Hare does show some promise, but we need those at the next earning call to be very, very positive in order for BigBear.AI to reach the valuations or the targets that we've set for it. Also, Jay Clark says, thank you for the super chat, Jay Clark. He says $5 USD, even if, let me get rid of this. I can't even see it. He says, Father, even if XRP does make a jump in the next couple of weeks, we don't hit $8. We will see 4. We've already got close to 4, but I just don't see we're going to hit 8. I'll just be honest with you. I try to be honest with you guys. I don't see us hitting 8 this year, and I'll take that loss. I'll take it. But I just can't see it happening, man. Like, I just can't see it happening unless, like I said, something happens over the next 2 weeks. Like I said, nobody's perfect. Like, I can't call out everything. I did the best I could on that. But it just that the crypto didn't move like we thought it would this year. And it's mostly because of the Trump administration. It's just that in some kind of way it's been slowed down. And it could be, like I said, I'm willing to say that I'm wrong. Maybe it's a greater good that the Trump administration knows about that I don't know about. And they have to focus on that. So I'm okay with that. But I just thought we thought things were going to be different this year. So what do you think about Jake Cleaver and his XR? Jake Cleaver, I mean, that thing about Jake is that I'll tell you this is I don't respect him as a man. And I'll tell you why is that every single time I go on YouTube and talk about XRP, I get a lot of views. And the more outlandish the calls are or the predictions are, the more views I get. Now, I had a choice early last year. I said, well, I could just pump out XRP content with crazy predictions, and I will grow that account to 200,000 followers. Or I could do it the right way and just not tell people that $10,000 is what I believe, and I believe it's possible, but it's going to be over many decades. Or I could just say it's going to be in January, and if I say that, I'll get 50,000, 100,000 views, I'll get 10,000 followers. But what does that say about my morality and me as a man to continue to say those outlandish things when I know for a fact that's not going to happen? And some people plan on it and stuff, right? Is that everything I say is I believe in it. Now, I think it's no way he thinks that these things are going to happen. Oh, he's an idiot. He's not an idiot. He's smart. So he's saying this for the attention. Now, what kind of person would you invest with a person that would do something like that? Say anything for views. No, that means he'll take your money and do anything for money. I mean, people don't, when a person like my grandfather said, if you lie, you a cheat. If you cheat, you a steal. And if you steal, you a kill. So that means somebody does small things that leads to bigger things. So you got to be very careful with people like that. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing negative about him. Maybe he believes in it. I'm wrong. I could say that. But maybe he's right. I don't know. But what gets me mad is that I don't understand this either. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Do you guys ask him about me? Like, why does everybody ask me about other influencers, but nobody asks them about me? That actually gets me mad. Get videos. What do you think about this guy? I don't care. What do you send it to me for? Like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mad. But why would you ask me that? Like, some guy, and then I bet nobody sends him videos of me. And ask the other guy, what do you think about him? I don't get that. I don't understand it. Somebody says the lettering in your videos are literally XRP to 10. Okay, Dustin, I'm going to say this too, you idiot. Don't you see the question mark after that? And then in the video, I explain how it could go there or the paths that it could happen. See, the thing about a low IQ person is that when they listen to something, they only pick two things out and they put them together and say, that's the topic. It's nuance in that. It's nuance. There's talking about, it's breaking down. It's not just that. They get one big subject, the second subject, they say, that's what it's about. XRP 10,000. No, that's not what I said. I put XRP to 10,000. Here are some ways that it can get there. Here's how it's possible. Or this is how if it took over this percentage of the Swift network, it could possibly get there in 10 years. I never say it's going there. Never. That's what I'm saying, man. People don't get the nuance. Like, should I just stop talking in nuances? I mean, to be honest, man, I apologize, Dust. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. I just got mad a little bit. I'm sorry. That's all I can say is I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. Sometimes I get mad, but I shouldn't have said that to you. And I'll message you after and say I'm sorry. Where is he at? Let me make sure I get his name. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I get mad sometimes. It's nothing personal, man. I got your name here. Yeah, I'll message you, man. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Yeah, like I just get mad. It's not you personally, but I get mad at some people because they don't understand the difference between a thought exercise and saying it. I've never said it's going to 10,000. Now, if somebody asks me, do you think we can go to Pluto? Yeah, I mean, we could probably get to Pluto if we get a sufficient spaceship with the right amount of fuel, and maybe if we get a gravity boost from Mars or the moon. That doesn't mean I'm saying we can get to Pluto. They're saying, yeah, it's possible if all these things line up and we got a straight path to Pluto. So it's different. Like, it's not, I'm not saying it's going to 10,000. I talk about how it could go to 10,000. Some people may confuse that. Maybe it's my fault. I appreciate you, Bison Express. Somebody says the crypto bull run done. I don't know, man. Maybe. I mean, like, I don't know anymore. I can't tell you. I don't know. I messaged him, so I messaged him privately, so hopefully he sees it. It is, Dustin. See, I wrote you, man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really do apologize. Now I feel bad, man. I'm trying, yeah. So, so I said, no question is foolish question. Yeah, no question is, that wasn't a question, though, but you made me 190K. I was high most of the time. Well, good luck. Good for you, man. Yeah, I'll give him a free CNC if he wants to. I'll give him one if he wants it. I don't know if he's listening, but I'll give you a free 3-month CNC for that if you want to join. Or if you're already, I'll refund you the money. All right, well, let me know if you need an attorney. I mean, I ain't gonna get nothing for that.